I'm Eleanor Black. I'm a commercial director at Fuse London Limited. Hello. For anyone who doesn't know us, Fuse is an award-winning professional inventing group. We ideate, innovate, and license exciting new toy and game concepts to toy companies. We have had major successes with both licensed properties and new IP, and hopefully you've heard of some of our successes: Gravity Maze, Kumi Creator, Star Wars Micro Machines, and Disney Princess Magiclip, amongst others. And this is me. I've been in the toy industry for over 20 years. I started as a project assistant and wanted to get involved with everything. Helped by my background in media and visual arts, I started videoing and editing all of our concepts, chatting on the day-to-day running of projects with our clients, and I loved it. I started joining one of our owners, Pete Cartledge, on client trips, and then started joining on international toy fairs. It was so incredible meeting so many interesting and talented people, and it still is. Whether some of you watching today are new to the industry and are building up your first pitch, or have a clutch of amazing ideas, but are not sure who to share them with yet, or are industry veterans, thank you for joining and thank you for watching. Today, I'm going to talk to you about my style of pitching, how I personally approach it, my golden rules, and although it used to be good, why I think it's even better now. Pitching can be great fun, but also tough. It can be done in the most professional of settings, say a presentation theatre with tiered seating and a stage with a gigantic screen, or at a toy fair feeling slightly worse for wear, hiding behind a pillar and an industrial-sized bin with your client. And yes, I do speak from personal experience. But a good idea is a good idea, plain and simple. Presentation, context, and clarity helps other people to see that it is a good idea. I use the rule of three. The rule of three is a well-known writing principle used in storytelling, slogans, and humour. Even if you're not consciously aware of it, you will have subconsciously seen it everywhere. From life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, blood, sweat, and tears, My Little Pony, even Hasbro toys and games follows the rule of three. My pitching rule of three is the why, the what, and the who. Why is it? What is it? Who wants it? If you can effectively answer these questions, you can help put your submission into context and thereby give it the very best chance when pitching. Why is it? Is this a trend that you've spotted on TikTok, white space on shelf, or a new viral event that's getting traction? What is the product's reason for being? This doesn't have to be groundbreaking or life-changing. It can be as simple as it just makes you laugh, or you pointed it out to a friend. A good few years ago, one of our talented team noticed that little fairy doors were springing up everywhere overnight, magical little doors set into tree trunks that went nowhere. How could something like this exist in the mass market toy world? What would happen if these magical little doors could open up into a whole world? Bandai brought our concept to market as Key Tweens, a new IP inspired by an observation. Inspiration is everywhere. A great example of the why was one of our first big successes, Matchbox pop-up playsets. This was an elegantly designed vehicle playset which folded away to the satisfaction of parents everywhere. The why was the parent problem of having limited storage. It was only too familiar to the inventor, who was living in a London flat at the time with a small child and no floor space. The concept itself was optioned on the spot. Yes, it does really happen sometimes. Once you've answered why is it, how do you explain that? When pitching face-to-face, you are there to answer any questions, but you also need a video to do that job for you. Remember, the design team will need all the context given in your pitch, but without you there, so do whatever you can to contextualize your concept. Show visual references. If it's inspired by a TikTok video, include part of that clip in your presentation. Explain the why. What is it? Now, keep this simple and straightforward if you can. With both mass market games and toys, ideally you need to get what it is within 10 to 15 seconds. Attention spans short. What makes this special? What makes it cute? What makes it unique? In short, what is the toy company actually buying from you? My sneaky trick is to describe the idea to a friend and ask them to describe it back to me. If they can, and they can tell me how the toy or game works, how it functions, then it proves to me that I can implant the intrinsic nature of the concept in someone else's head. Or, to put it simply, you've nailed it. Who wants it? This may sound like an obvious question, but if your answer is everyone, you either do have the best product in the world, or more probably you need a reality check. Who Wants It will help you shape your pitch. If it's a baby alive concept, why will the 3 to 5-year-old audience relate to it? What other experiences is it comparable or relatable to for them and their world? Who Wants It gives your concept physical context and will help the person you are pitching to see your vision. So you have successfully landed a pitch and you have your presentation ready to go. I'm now going to use the word that most creatives dread: admin. Admin is the beginning of the pitch. Follow the submission process. Each company is different, so ask, find out, and follow each company's way of working to the letter. I know admin isn't the most glamorous of things, but it sure helps things get done faster. And more importantly, it provides a date-stamped record of what was shared, which is very important. It's a good idea to keep an Excel document of the companies you are working with, your contacts, notes on their wish lists and lines, what you have presented to them and on what date. Basically a crib sheet, so you can get yourself back up to scratch on a company with just a glance. Some things can only really be done in person, and for me, the main one is to engage. Really engage with the person you are presenting to. Remember, no two pitches are the same, even when the concept is. So always read the room and be present rather than just reading through a script to get to the end. Remember, this is a conversation, not a performance. People can usually tell the difference. Ask for advice in your meeting. If it's worth you doing more work on the concept, maybe ask if there's anything else the company is looking for right now. If you have a portfolio of work, you might just have the perfect fit. I'm now going to talk briefly about 2 fuse concepts and how they came to market. Story of Gravity Maze began back at the Nuremberg Toy Fair in 2011. We pitched a single-person puzzle called Unhinged to Tanya Thompson, who at the time was working as the Inventor Relations for ThinkFun. This pitch was made hiding behind a table of dirty coffee cups. Having had a great experience collaborating on this project and having Tanya know our expertise as an inventing group, she came to our office in London and challenged one of our amazing inventors to create a single-person puzzle based on a ball run. Gravity Maze was born, and 8 years later, it's still successful, still in market, and one of the sparkly jewels in Fuse's crown. With the Star Wars Micro Machine project, we chased down that opportunity. We persuaded Phil Sage and Rich Maisel, who were at the time with Hasbro, that Fuse were industry experts on all things micro, based on our time working on the Polly Pocket brand, and were able to negotiate a development and royalty deal. It was all top secret due to the embargo on any information from Lucasfilm. To 3D print the never-before-seen figures in our studio was thrilling. We worked very closely with the design team at Hasbro, and together we produced multiple items that went into a very successful line. These 2 examples show that if a toy company is open to working with inventors, it means they understand and appreciate the value that an inventor can bring. That inventors bring magic, innovation, and uniqueness to toys and games, and that partnerships and working collaboratively can bring great success for everyone. It also shows that, as every cat knows, there is never any harm in asking for something. When it comes to pitching, I have 2 golden rules. 1, really, really listen to the feedback. There is a big difference between I love it and I get it. And 2, be mindful of your reputation. Never go on the defensive. You have explained your idea clearly and concisely. If someone doesn't like it or doesn't get it, so it's not for them. Don't damage a potential good relationship for no good reason. Remember, relationships are what your reputation is based on. Connect to the people you're pitching to, as well as your inventing peers. As I mentioned before, if you have connected and engaged with your client and have an open dialogue, it will really help both on pitching ideas and on any project development needed. As for peers, the inventing community is a very sociable place to be, and everyone loves to see success. There are inventor-focused events where you can connect. Some have company speed dating style pitches like Mojo Nation and People of Play. There are always social events at any toy fest, so get involved, say hello to the person next to you, tell them what got you into the toy industry and why. To use my dad's favourite expression, opportunity never knocks on your door, You have to go out and find it. Regarding the past, no is always a hard thing to hear. There you are, all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, with your love and joy encapsulated in the concept you have shed blood, sweat and tears over, and the response. Seen something similar. Not what we're looking for right now. This is so cool, but it's not for us. Only a few years into my career, I found this cartoon strip in the Guardian newspaper with the glorious punchline of "shaped the magic 8 ball for the feedback, we already have something similar in development." This felt a little too close to the bone, so has of course been pinned to the wall by my desk ever since. So don't lose heart. If it's a concept you believe in, then don't let your confidence falter. Move on and show it to the next company, and the next, and the next. Sometimes an idea will get picked up on the first meeting. Sometimes it can take years to sell an idea. And sometimes you end up selling it many moons later to the very first person you pitched it to. Timing is everything. And remember, feedback is never given in a mean or cutting way, and you can always ask for more direction to help develop the item further. When I joined the toy industry, pitches at fairs were quite different. Pitch videos were non-existent, so everything you showed was in person and in the form of a model or a sketch. And no inventor worth their salt would travel anywhere without super glue, activator, and a scalpel. With no Zoom or Teams, we only really pitched at toy fairs, so we made the most of it, trundling a huge black case around filled with prototypes that prompted quite a few people to ask if I was the magician and my boss was my glamorous assistant. It highlights how different it was then. The majority of people we pitched to were men. A lot of our pitches were done in private hotel rooms. And with no online portals to submit concepts, it was far more difficult to get your ideas in front of people, as time at Toy Fair is very limited. Now things are changing, and for the better. Hasbro's Spark platform enables any adult or anyone over 18 with an invention to get their idea seriously reviewed, whether it was made in a studio or a shed. Tanya, Naomi, and many others are reflective of the changing landscape in terms of female leadership and decision makers at toy companies globally, and the reframing of what the best environment for a successful pitch can and should be. Finally, I wanted to focus on all the inventor relations teams in every company. Always, always remember, inventor relations people are some of the best and nicest people in any company, and they are rooting for you. You share your successes with them. Make their lives easier wherever you can. It's firstly just a decent thing to do, but secondly, it really helps them get your ideas to the right people faster. Help them to help you, and always, always say thank you to them. Thank you.